A reading? No, what the actual hell is a reading? Like, no, for real. That's not. Obviously, so hurt I was invited to something that now I have to, like, take down the whole idea of it even existing. But, like, readings are to promote your book when you sell it. It's not, we're not trying to make literature cool again by turning literature into, like, some, like, whack-ass, under, like, just poor version of the art world. Like, that's not right. Or maybe I just haven't been to one of these readings, so I don't understand it. But it seems like right now in my fever delusion and covered in rash from freaking stem cells inside me, it seems like something I would have loved to have attended tonight. Just, whoa. Not to be like a boomer about this, but like, you guys already have Twitter to show off to your friends. Like your little... A reading? That can't be good. Maybe it can be. I would just be too nervous to go because I'm so sensitive. But no, it's not like a conversation or a play. But a reading? I mean, very, very gay. But also, like, asexual. You're standing up there reading? Like, no. That's how literature dies. That's how literature, like, got to where it is now. And I'm not trying to bring it back. Obviously, I can only write in the first person, present tense, female, and perspective. I'm not a very serious writer, obviously. But I'm serious about culture. Not being cultured. But, like, I don't know. That's how you know it's, like, really time. Like, you never are part of a club. I'll have you as its member. Until you are. And then, bro, it's leave society. Like, reading? No, like, it should be like you have a game. Like, I'd rather play, like, a group game than read to people. That sounds like one of the least, like, reading to your child. That's a perfect, beautiful thing. Never in my life have I been weak enough, poor enough, uncultured enough, angry enough to try to unpack a cultural phenomenon and take it down, or unpack it with like a negative, like sort of twist until now. And it's like, because my body is failing me. And so are my friends. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. Not at all. I genuinely don't even feel that in the slightest. But like, what the frick? Stop saying readings. Stop doing that. I mean, I'm sure it's all and great, but like, I have a lot of better ideas, and I'm not like a better idea person in general. Like, I'll go with the flow. But like, I'm literally on my like critical race theory, like CRT, like analysis of readings in like a way is like, in what ways do readings encapsulate every single thing wrong with our current state of literature? And I mean like our current state, not America's current state, because like our current state's even in worse shape. No, just kidding. That's not even true. It's in better shape, obviously. Awesome. But oh my, bro, like, stop reading philosophy things. Matthew was actually right. I would get mad at him when he would say this, but now in like my fever, I can see it. Like, just like stop reading like any gay, not gay. I mean like as an insult. Like stop reading like critical theory. Like, no more Frankfurt School. Like, no more. Like, even like put down the Nick Land and stuff, even though it's mad fun. Like, Like, that's critical readings theory. We need to re-examine the history of the downfall of culture through the way that readings have been done. Because maybe I'm just wrong. And readings are actually really good and stuff. We need to look back historically, like the 1619 Project looked back at American history. My critical readings reading series. Bruh. I mean, in LA, like, reading is like a thing that like kids like who went to like Tex, like Kyle Brown's like friends would do, like Hollywood Forever Cemetery. It's like, what? What is that? Maybe I just hate community. Bruh. Actually, my verbal IQ obviously dropping. Like, been outside of New York City. I already forgot how to speak. I actually... What the frick is a reading? That's like a talent show. I'd rather have a talent show than a reading. Maybe if you just rebrand it as something else. Like, even like salon sounds gay and stuff, but like, you know, it's good to like sit around a table and have like a directed conversation like that. But like a reading, like, you get up, you read something you wrote, you feel good about it, and then you all get drunk together. What is that? In like just like a life hack sort of thing. Like, what is that besides just like pure like dopamine and pleasure that you can already get from like Twitter or Instagram? Like, I don't get it because I'm a little more stupider and I can't. If anyone ever forgets to invite me to like a funeral or something, believe me, I'll be having a whole cultural analysis, taking down the funeral, which I'm sure is like a super easy thing to do. Like, I already hate public schooling, which I used to like really believe in. I used to really believe in the state, like a big, wake up. If you want a big government, wake up. Read Nick Land a little harder. No. Now I'm just joking. Like, how do you go to a reading and not just get up there and just like say like cunt, N-word, like crazy sentence, like just provocative thing about someone in the room and what they're wearing? Like, you actually think like your normal words can do anything? Like, you need like a game, a structure. I think the final thing I'll say about my first poor reaction to the Moderna vaccine and the idea of readings is like, what do you get out of a reading? Like, it's not like a brain exercise of any sort besides like just like the rush of skydiving, like tandem skydiving. Like, you don't actually have to pull your own thing or anything. It's just, you get up and you do that. Like, if you want to do that, like, go into community theater, like do a production of In the Heights in your suburb. You need like a game. I mean, if you actually think that the game is the social game, either means you're like way more autistic than me or way less autistic than me, which either way, I don't believe anyone should be at either of those levels. Like, I think I'm perfect level of spectrum, which is none, but also none the other way. Whatever. I'm not like going off about myself, but like, what? Like, I don't know, like, to entertain yourselves besides just saying words at each other. Maybe it was a whole game. Maybe it's a whole like scavenger hunt and hide and go seek and big puzzles and stuff. But like, a reading, we have social media, guys. That's what that is. You're just replicating social media in real life. Like, I cannot think of something I called gay originally, but now it's feeling retarded and then it's feeling nefarious. It's like, what? A reading? Just stop calling it that. It's like, I'll probably reclaim the word in 2 years when I'm super into them, but like, I mean, in 2 years, like, I take back everything I said. And you guys will be like, reading, it doesn't matter. Like, nobody cares. Like, we all started calling it. A reading is literally what you do in a bookstore in the Midwest when like bookstores were the place that like Midwestern women like had to be sold something. Like that's like, or it's what you do in bed with your child every night until they're 12. But every weekend in New York, no. Like with that sort of space and mental energy and like seeking dopamine, like can be playing like we can be playing much more fun games than the social game. Like I swear, I would so much rather be playing Dungeons and Dragons with you guys than at a reading. Bro, whatever. I'm gonna be the most pro reading person ever because I'm just gonna get a podcast. I feel like Matthew, like thinking about everything on like Matthew, obese retard, for those who don't know. Like thinking about everything on the level of the soul. But like a reading, that cannot be good for the soul. A reading from the Bible to a group and then a game of Dungeons and Dragons, that actually could be fun and educational.
Going to gibberish and teaching your audience your gibberish and making it feel like it's a special thing and your whole ass audience who thinks they're smart to be for understanding it. It's like, oh no, I just come down and red skin everyone's everything that so more than intellectual level and visual. I can't believe when I saw John Lindsay freaking emoji the response of that.
Frick, I actually was saying something kind of smart in those last 3 things, like smart enough that I need to remember it later. Like maybe you guys already know it, but like Compot logo, they just be talking in gibberish, teach their audience that gibberish. That doesn't sound sincere and good like it did before because I put the freaking deep fry thing on it. That's a danger of irony, even when you're doing irony ironically. But like they teach their audience their like psycho little symbol rants, and then their audience feels special. And I guess Come Down Red Scare did that on like a less intellectual, obviously more intellectual because it's less intellectual level. But like, just the power of symbols. Just the limitations of language. When anything boils down to anything, it just comes out that I'm just a total like acid casualty, which is fine. I guess you should start saying stuff and recording it and putting it out there. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is. Just develop a vocabulary, teach it to your audience. Like you guys are like my best friends and best internet acquaintances, future friends. So it's different, but like it's really just giving your whole self to the internet. As much, but then like distilling it and making it like a real life event, like that's like you're going to the level of a lawyer, to the level of a stand-up comedian. Like that's not what a writer is. A writer's not supposed to. That's not a thing. A writer has like a salon or a game. Like no, like we are not. Obviously, stand-up comedians, like, they, like, hacked life so good that their whole job is just talking and being funny on stage. I mean, we're all jealous of that. But, like, that's not... And obviously, like, it sounds gay to say salon, to just mean, like, conversation, like, group of friends, like, without needing, like, groupies there with you who can, like, come... Like, what the heck? The Ion Pack, Peter... Caroline Calloway party? Like, why do you post invites on Instagram? Like... Why? Like, of course it's going to be too crowded. Like, there are NPCs. Like, you do not need them near you. Like, I'm not trying to, like, party splain to anyone. Because obviously I'm not even allowed to go to parties. But, like, something... If you, like, suddenly have control of subculture, there's nothing more powerful and nothing that you should try to respect more than that. Obviously, like, Patti Smith, like, messed it up for all of us by just being, like, a total, like... I mean, Kathy Acker, too. Just, like... cringe. But no, like... Right up to today, everyone can participate in, like... You're not gonna go on that standard communion thing, like... Although there are some good retrospect gatherings that, like, yeah, there's New Year's in a community that's just really inclusive. Do not need more God in this world. We also don't need more doctors. And we don't need more anything else, really. And we don't need more artists. We don't need more anything. Oh man. I'm saying God, man. Part of that I thought it would be, but also, whatever. Like, have a reading the Bible and play Dungeons and Dragons. Like, what is a reading of your own work? An MP? I don't know. Matthew is kind of right. Every single thing that you do, see how it affects your soul, and you should be able to feel it in your soul. And if you can't feel like, if you don't feel guilt and shame in, like, an actually just, like, proper way, feel the wrong type of guilt and shame, you're just totally screwed. Like, just peace out. Like, it's over. Like, delete. So, like, really leave society. But, like, if you're feeling guilt and shame about, like, you know, the things you really should be feeling guilt and shame about, like having sex with strangers, having sex before marriage, you know, just blatant attention posting like this, but, like, on a more pathological level. I don't know. Like, if you're having proper guilt and shame, that's cool. But if you're having improper guilt and shame, like, you're also screwed. Like, my whole life. They really do teach you to be ashamed of the wrong things in America today. Like, all the things I wasn't ashamed of are now things I'm ashamed of in, like, a deeply productive way. Like, the things that you think, I don't even know, for all of you guys. I don't want to push anyone over the edge. Like, no, but I'm, whatever. I don't know. What if I just, like, broke down really hard right now, and you, like, skipped through all the stories, but then saw me, like, like, sobbing right now, and you're like, oh, I skipped through the stories, but, like, I should say something. But I'm not. I mean, it's whatever. It's my reading. Except for it's just, like, if you're gonna have that sort of thing, you don't talk about it on social media. I mean, I just, like, really believe in, like, keeping things special. And if some place is special enough, not only to be forgotten, to be invited to, whatever, I don't really care about that, but to, like, want to publicly talk about, if it's that special that you can actually talk about it and get away with it, like, okay. But, like, gatekeeping, it's the immune system of culture. It's the most important thing. There are tons of things that just people on the internet who you haven't spent, like, an intimate 2-hour conversation with, like, most of my American followers on here, like, it's like, it's not like it's not, you're not supposed to social media about this stuff, guys. Please, like, I'm saying that for the sake of the culture. When you're worried about the culture, literally, that's when you know that culture's over. If you start getting worried about it, like, you need to leave culture. Like, if you're not a reactionary, or maybe you guys use social media in, like, a more hyper localized way than I do, where, like, this is your world. It doesn't matter if other people, like, I don't know, just the immune system fighting my Moderna right now. really wants me to give a shout out to gatekeepers who keeps, the aids of culture away from the other parts of culture until it's all absorbed into one big. This must be how angelicism feels all the time. It's like covered in a rash and a fever, having really, just like, they make sense in my head thoughts. That's poetry, though. Makes sense in my head. Not. What the hell is this thing about people going to Iowa for poetry? They don't even pay you to go there. You're gonna go study poetry? And now that we've broken it down, maybe that's why I hate the idea of reading, because that's something for poets. Something for, not very serious. Needing constant. It's not even true. It's just wrong. I feel like Matthew. If I don't like something, it's just wrong. But I don't know. If I died this week, like the past few days, like I would have gone to heaven on Saturday because I just got back. Literature is in a sorry state when nobody's scared of becoming the, no offense, Matthew Daniel Siskin, who will soon follow this account, whatever. Like when nobody in a different group is afraid of becoming like the Greta Van Fleet of literature, like, or of anything that you do, ceramics, heroin, gardening. Like, if nobody's afraid of becoming, I don't even know. LMAO. Oh, there's a camera there, and you watch all of these. And skip over the ones where Honor was crying. Fake crying, though, just to see if you'd stop, because I can just see you through the screen. I do need to actually get some people's paperwork about that, because I can see all of you guys. Like, anyone who follows this account, I can just see them through the screen. Wow. Honestly, no idea what I was gonna say. I'm literally gonna get some, like, horrible dementia thing at, like, 35, because I have the worst sleep. I'm really breaking down. No, just kidding. Haha. But what would you even do? Is there anything to even do? Whatever. I'm not even gonna post these. Obviously I was, but only in like a whatever the opposite of the last way you did it way was. Okay? Because I'm so special. Not. But like, yeah, I don't know. I can't give good life advice on it anymore, but like, if like Sam Hyde Gumroad helping you, or even Kyle Brown tweeting, like, just be normal. Or Matthew asking if we can hang out with normal people. If that helps you, good for you. You're probably one of them. One of the normal people. I'm just kidding. Everyone's normal. Okay, I'm actually not skitsed out at all. But I always like feel like I'm having moments where I just totally lose it. That was not one of them. I don't know if I should even post this stuff. It's like, what's the point?